Good morning, class.
Good morning.
Today we're going to be learning some math equations using the greater than, less than, or equal to symbols. So this one is the greater than symbol. Greater than means that a word or a number or equations are larger on the, I gotta look at it, on the left side. So a way to remember this is the greater than symbol looks like the little curve on the G. So when it's curved like facing this way, remember it's greater than. So next we're going to learn about, actually we're going to do an example of greater than. And the reason we're learning about this is because we use this in our everyday lives when we're counting money. I have a greater amount of money than Laura does, or Laura has a greater amount of money than I do. So for greater than, we'll do 55 is greater than 12. Would you guys say that's correct? 55 is more than 12?
Yes.
Okay. Another one, this time we're going to add a equation to it. So 5 plus 3, and then greater than 7 plus 0. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add this up. So 5 plus 3, can you guys tell me what 5 plus 3 is?
8.
8, good job. And then what's 7 plus 0?
7.
7. So would you say that 8 is greater than 7?
Yes.
Good job. Another example is 12 plus 12 is greater than 6 plus 4. So 12 plus 12 is 24. Greater than 6 plus 4, which is 10. So would you say 24 is greater than 10?
Yes.
Good job. Do you guys think that you understand greater than? And we can move on to less than?
Yes.
Do you guys want to see what a non-example of greater than is before we move on?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so a non-example would be 43 plus 12 is greater than 75. So 65, oh, can be 55 is greater than 75. Would you guys say that 55 is more than 75?
No.
So would this be the correct way to write this?
No, X it out.
Good job. Okay, so now we're going to go to less than. So less than is kind of the same as greater than, but it means that the number on the left is smaller than the number on the right, or the sum of an equation is smaller than the one on the right. So one way to remember the less than is it's shaped like an L, tilted on its side. So the less than looks the same when you turn it this way. So whenever it looks like this, you know that it's less than, because less than starts with an L. So we're going to do a couple of examples. So 34 plus 12. That's pretty overrated. Okay, so 34 plus 12 is 46 less than 68. So would you guys say that this is a correct way to write this equation?
Yeah.
Good
It's like the
job.
non-example for the greater than.
It is. Good job. So the left one is smaller than the one on the right. So on the non-example for greater than, should we have flipped the symbol and made it a less than symbol?
Yeah.
Good job.
I like that you're pointing that out. Good job.
Good job, Sydney. Okay, another example is 75 plus 25 is less than 120 plus 10. I always write these like super big as well. Okay, so 75 plus 25 is 100. And then 120 plus 10. Oh, is 130. So would you say that this is the correct way to write this equation? So 100 is smaller than 130?
Mhm.
Good job, you guys.
The perimeter is the total amount of distance around the shape.
Okay, now we're going to do a non-example. 7 plus 2 is less than 6. So can you guys tell me how much 7 plus 2 is?
9.
9. So would you say that 9 is less than 6?
No.
So which way should this be facing?
It's the G that
The
way.
G, good job. Okay, now we're gonna work on equal to. Good morning, Rachel. Okay, so now we're gonna work on equal to. So equal to means that the two numbers on the right and the left, or the equations, are equal to each other. So like 4 quarters equals $1, or 10 dimes equals $1. So we're gonna do 15 plus 12 equals 27. Would you guys say that this is correct using your math skills? Good job. Another equation could be 10 plus 2 is equal to 7 plus 5. So can you guys help me with 10 plus 2? 12. So would 12 be equal to 7 plus 5?
Yes.
What would that answer be, Sydney?
12.
Good job. And how did you find that out?
Because I added 7 plus 5 in my
Good
head.
job using your mathematical skills.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to do a non-example. So 5 plus 5 is equal to 4 plus 5. Would you guys say that this looks the same?
Kind of.
Kind of. Well, let's do both sides of the equation and then we'll see if it's the same. So 5 plus 5 is 10. And 4 plus 5 equals 9.
Okay, what about this shape?
So would these two answers, do they look like they're the same? So we wouldn't use an equal sign, would we?
Greater than.
Greater than. Good job, Laura, on using your skills that we just learned. So now we're going to go through and do some examples of all of them.
The last vocabulary word is.
Okay, so first I'm going to do some examples for all of them, and then I'm going to have you guys help me do some of them, okay? So for an equal to, it would be 13 minus 6 equals 4 plus 3. So 13 minus 6 is 7, is equal to 3 plus 4, or 4 plus 3. That would also equal 7. So would this be the correct answer? The correct symbol to use? Laura, why do you say yes?
Because there's 7 on that side and 7 on that side and they're the same number.
Good job. That is the correct answer. Now we're going to do another example of equal to.
Does that make sense? Any questions? Okay. So, what about that number?
So 15 plus 12 is equal to 20 plus 7. What do you guys think is going to happen?
It's equal.
You think it's going to be equal? Let's solve it and see. So 15 plus 12, 7, 2. So 27 is equal to 20 plus 7. 7, 2. 27. You're right, Sydney. How did you know that?
Because I looked at the numbers and I saw that the 5 and the 2 equals 7, and then the 1 plus 1 equals 27, and then 20 plus 7 was easy.
Good job. I'm glad you saw that using your supertizing skills. You need a peppermint?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, we're going to do some less than examples. 16 plus 9 is less than 40. So 16 plus 19.
That's a tricky one. 25.
Oh,
No,
that should be
35.
35.
all right. So 35.
Why can't our teacher add?
Because this is 7th grade. You guys are supposed to add. So would you guys say that this is the correct way to write this equation?
Oh yeah.
Yes?
Because
Why would
the
you say that?
alligator mouth is eating the bigger number.
Good job, Rachel.
I didn't even think about that.
Y'all weren't taught that?
I didn't tell them that.
Yeah, we're not taught that. She's our teacher, not whatever you had.
But you saw it a different way, so thank you for allowing the other students to hear that for how you're thinking.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna do a greater than.
Okay, so this is a polygon that's squared. All of the side lengths are labeled. And here we have the
Okay,
sum
so
of the
12
side
plus
lengths.
2
So is that an example
is
of the
equal to 14. And so 14 is greater than 6 plus 4 equals 10. Would you guys say that that's the correct way to write that? Good job. Why would you say that it's correct?
Bigger numbers on the left.
The bigger number's on the left, so that means that when the bigger number's on the left, the G is facing that way. Good job. Okay, now we're gonna do some together. Are you guys okay with doing some together? Okay, actually, no, I'm checking for understanding.
questions?
There you go.
Now we are gonna move on to our rule that we have written up here. So I'm gonna read it and then I'll have you guys
Okay.
repeat after me.
Would someone like to tell me if this is correct before we
All the sides of a
do
polygon are whole numbers.
the equation?
Perimeter one.
It's correct.
You think it's correct? Laura, you're shaking your head no. Why do you think it's not correct?
Because I think 23 is bigger.
23 is
Maybe
bigger?
I'm not doing my math right.
Wait, does she- does
Let's
she
add
actually
it up
think
and
it's
see.
wrong? Wait, did you actually
14?
think it was wrong?
So 14 plus 7. Do you need to count on your fingers to see?
Okay, I'll count on my
You said this
fingers.
was
Okay, so
7th grade?
so start with 14.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
22.
22. I am correct.
It's actually 21.
21. Well, I knew it wasn't. Wait, it is right. It has
It
like
is
this
right.
one. I was messing up my sign.
It is, but that's okay. Sometimes the signs can be confusing. You just have to remember the
Dyslexia
L.
right now.
You just have to remember the L,
L.
and which way the L is facing,
We were
or
just
if
doing
the G
greater.
is
We
facing.
were doing greater than. That's why.
Or like Rachel said, the alligator mouth is eating
Yeah.
the 23 because it's
That
larger.
works out.
There you
So,
go. Okay.
perimeter is the sum of all the sides. I'm gonna add 2,
Now we're gonna do some together. So I'm gonna put this on here, and I want you guys to tell me.
we have all 3 sides out.
Can I hold
How
up
to
my
solve it.
card
Sum of the
of like which one I think it is?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
That's a good
good
idea.
idea.
That's a good idea, Miss Sydney.
That is a great idea, Sydney.
Cool.
Okay, so now we're gonna add these together. So we're gonna do this side first, and then we're gonna do this side. So how would we start by adding this side? Okay, Rachel?
31 plus 5 is 36.
36,
Yes.
okay.
1 plus 5 is 6.
Good job. You guys think it's greater than? Well, let's solve this side and we'll see.
I don't even know
20?
side lengths this is, but we'll add them up.
So you guys are saying greater than?
And all of the
Good
sides are
job.
equal,
That's
right?
correct, you guys.
We'll do 1, 2,
Now we're gonna do another one.
3 plus 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Okay,
16.
so now, what do we think this is before we solve it?
We have
You think it's
all the
equal
sides
to? How come?
labeled, and they're all labeled
Because
with
17 plus 5.
You have
She
all of
just
the
said
sides
before we
added
solve
up,
it.
which is the sum
Well, she asked why I thought
of
it was
all of
equal
the side
to.
lengths, and that equals 16. So this would be
It's
our
22.
Mm-hmm.
And then 22 minus 0 is 22.
So that's why you think it's equal? Good job. Rachel, do we need to work this out to understand?
No, I got it.
Okay. Good job, you guys.
Okay.
You guys are catching on fast.
It did take me a little while to have this too, though.
Okay, last one.
Because this shape is not a polygon, and we established it's not a polygon because
Okay.
it doesn't have straight lines,
Which-
right? We
which side do you guys want to start with when we're solving?
The more complicated side.
The more complicated side? Which one would you say that is?
Yeah.
35 plus
How is that
2.
more complicated?
I don't know. 'Cause
Rachel, why do you
35
think
looks like a
that's
scary
not more
number.
complicated?
Because it's only adding 2 to 35, and then
Okay.
10 plus 10 is 2. Neither of them are complicated.
But 35 plus 2
Okay,
is scarier
Missy.
than 10 plus 10.
So which one would you guys like to solve first?
10 plus 10.
The
Since
left
it's
side.
we'll do it left.
Left to right.
Good job.
We are in America. Left to right.
Jack and Sydney.
Okay, so 20.
20.
37.
You think it's 37?
Yeah.
I
Really?
was like, don't do the numbers again.
So which symbol would we use?
Less than.
Less than. Good job, you guys. Do you think you guys are ready to do them on your own?
Yeah.
now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what I need you guys to do is I've given you all cards and I need you to solve them yourself. So, Laura, can I see one of your cards for an example?
That one.
So this one, you'll solve the left side first and then the right side, and you'll have these cards for the categories. And whichever one that it goes into, you'll put it into that stack.
Oh.
And then when you're done, you'll hand the cards to me. You'll put your name on top of all of them and use your paper clip and you'll hand them to me as your exit ticket to go to lunch.
Ooh, I love lunch.
Are we allowed to write on them?
If you need to write on them, you can. Yes.
Because I do.
Good job, Rachel, in writing them.
Thank you.
Equal to 17, 17.
Those are correct.
32, 28.
Good job, Laura, using your fingers.
What did I say? This
Thank you, Sydney. You put your cards in the correct order.
We put our name on top. Does
Yes,
the card go behind the?
However you want to put it. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, so now I want to go over why we did this. Can you guys explain to me why we went over this, like we talked about earlier before we started the lesson?
Because it's important to know who has more money.
Who has more money?
Or
We
if
can-
you look prices, which store has the lowest price to buy?
Yes, that is correct. So we need, go ahead, Rachel.
I think for the equal one, you can see how you can get the same number in different ways.
Yeah, that's true. So like using money or using like candy. If you have 30 pieces of candy and there's so many people, you can split them up in different ways. Don't you think? For equal to, so everybody has the same amount, or so nobody has a greater amount than the other people. So the purpose of this lesson again was so we can know when to use greater than or less than or equal to in our real lives outside of school, and we'll also use it going forward in math. So next week we'll be talking about how we can use multiplication and division on both sides of the equation and the symbols.
Yay!
All right.